Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the class on business statistics, where we are discussing the concept of ANOVA. So, in last class, we discussed one-way classification on ANOVA. Bangalore University, every year, 100% you will get a problem based on ANOVA. ANOVA stands for analysis on variance. So, when we are discussing the test of hypothesis, in test of hypothesis, when we are comparing the null hypothesis with the alternative hypothesis, and when we are working on sample statistics, what we can do, we can work on one mean data or two mean data, or either we can work on one variance data or two variance data. The problem can happen when we have multiple data with us, and on those multiple data, when we are trying on mean calculation or we are trying to work on proportion calculation, we prefer ANOVA and chi-square test. So ANOVA is preferred whenever we have to perform analysis where we have more than more than two data working on mean, and we use chi-square test when we have more than two data working on proportion. Otherwise, on two data also, if we have to analyze based on proportion, we can use chi-square depending upon the objective what we are doing. Chi-square test is an extension of the t-test what we normally discuss whenever we work on proportion. So going further, in the last class we discussed about one-way classification, and in this class today we'll discuss the two-way classification. Guys, is I'm audible? Can you hear me? Yeah. So when we talk about ANOVA, in ANOVA, we have one-way classification on ANOVA and we have two-way classification on ANOVA. So in the last class, we discussed one-way classification on ANOVA, and in today class, we will discuss two-way classification on ANOVA. As you can see in this problem, four salesmen are given to you, and three seasons are given to you. So and what you need to do, you need to understand the data what is given. The data is given is in lakhs, and these data is basically the sales carried by four salesmen in three different seasons. So the sales which is carried by four salesmen in three different seasons, the data is given on regard of the sales made by these salesmen in these three seasons. And what you need to do, you need to carry out analysis of variance, means ANOVA. So when we talk about working on ANOVA in this scenario, if you can understand, here they have not mentioned that you have to do salesman's wise or you have to perform ANOVA season wise. Whenever you can see this kind of problem, you can understand or you can get confused that okay, fine, I need to perform ANOVA. So how I need to perform ANOVA? Do I need to perform ANOVA salesman wise, or do I need to perform ANOVA probably season wise? That kind of confusion can come in your mind. Normally, whenever we are doing ANOVA or analysis on, we need to either follow one-way classification or we need to follow two-way classification. So either we follow one-way classification or we follow two-way classification. In two-way classification, we'll consider both the parameter, those parameters here, salesman and season. While imagine if I have to do one-way classification, then it should be clearly in the problem that one-way classification, what we need to perform this one-way classification salesman wise or season wise. Here in this problem, because that scenario is missing, where we are not able to understand that how we need to perform ANOVA, either through salesman wise or either through season wise. So what we'll do, we'll try to solve the problem by working on ANOVA. Probably probably will do with two-way classification, where we'll take both these conditions. We'll take salesman also and we'll take season also. I hope you people are understanding. Anyone, any doubt, whatever I just said? Because that part is missing here, that ANOVA, what we need to perform, how we need to perform the ANOVA, either season wise or either salesman wise. So instead of discussing that concept or guessing what we do, we'll do two-way classification of ANOVA. And here, if I have to solve this, so suppose here, like here, let the factors, because I'm doing two-way ANOVA or two-way classification, so I need to define this two-way ANOVA parameters. So here, let the parameters or let the factors of classification are, let the factor of classification are, suppose one factor is, suppose A. What A represent? A represent your salesman. A represent your salesman. Okay, and salesmen are basically how column wise, so which is represented along the column of the given table. And B represent the season. Write it down, guys. Okay, so because we are doing two-way ANOVA, so two parameters I have taken here. Those two parameters are salesman and season, where the variable A is talking about salesman, while the variable B is talking about the season. Okay, everyone, can I go further? So here, what I'll write in null hypothesis, what I'll write in the null hypothesis. So what will be my null hypothesis? So my null hypothesis will be salesman and and season wise. So here I'll write mu1 is equal to mu2 equal to mu3 equal to mu4. Where, what do you mean by this? This means that there is no, I'll use two variables, season, and so there's no significant, I can write mu1 a, 2a, a and 4a. So there's no significant difference. There's no significant difference. There's no significant difference in the average sales. There's no significant difference in the average sales. In the average sales made by different salesmen. Made by different salesmen. Made by different salesmen. This is suppose when I'm talking about column wise, so the average of each salesman, average of the sales done by each salesman in lakh. So the average of that value, I'm assuming they are same. So mu1 a equal to mu2 a equal to mu3 a equal to mu 4a. So there's no significant difference in the average sales made by different salesmen. That is my, that is my, I can write this, as something like h naught a. Similarly, I'll write h naught b. What is h naught b? I'll write h naught b as equal to mu 1b is equal to mu 2b equal to mu 3b equal to mu 4b. And here I'll write there's no significant difference in the average sales made during different season. So here I'll write there is no significant, there's no significant, there's no significant difference, there's no significant difference, there's no significant difference in the average sales done in different seasons. Okay, everyone. So here I have to write two null hypotheses because I'm doing two-way ANOVA. So one end is column wise where I'm saying that there's no significant difference in the average sales made by different salesmen. And the other form of ANOVA, what we are doing that yeah, there's no significant difference in the average sales done during different seasons. Okay, so where there are two variables are there, A and B. So A is talking about salesman and the variable B is talking about the season. So so I hope you understand it. So in null hypothesis, I'm considering both the scenario. Column wise, I'm talking about the average sales, which is done by different salesmen, and I'm assuming that they are equal. And row wise, I'm talking about the average sales done during season, and I'm assuming they are equal. So I'll write two null hypotheses. Is this clear, everyone? Any doubts? Can I go further? Everyone understood, right? Any doubt, anyone? So in null hypothesis, we consider everything to be equal. So mu 1a equal to mu 2a equal to mu 3a equal to mu 4a. So where I'm assuming that the average sales are made by different salesmen in different seasons are equal, while mu 1b is equal to mu 2b equal to mu 3b. It means that the average sales done in each season are equal. Okay, season 1, season 2, season 3. So I can define what is mu 1a, what is 1b. So here I can define mu 1a is basically average sales made by average sales made salesman 1, average sales made by salesman A in different season different seasons. Okay, and I can say mu 2a is equal to average sales made by salesman B in different season, and I'll say mu 3a is equal to average sales made by salesman C salesman C in different season. Okay, and I'm saying mu 4a is equal to average sales made by salesman D, average sales made by salesman D in different season. I hope you people are understanding. I can write mu 1b equal to average sales average sales made by average sales made in summer season, summer, winter, and monsoon, made in summer season, average sales made in summer season by different salesmen, by different salesmen. Mu 2b is equal to average sales made during winter season by different salesmen, and mu 3b is equal to average sales made in monsoon season, average sales made in monsoon season, average sales made in monsoon season by different salesmen, by different salesmen. I hope this part is clear with all of you. I hope this part is clear with all of you. So I defined here the variable which I have assumed, here the variable what I have assumed here. So I just defined this variable. Exam also, I don't think it's a big task of defining the variable. Simple English you have to write. So you is always good if you can define the variable. In mathematics, whatever variable we use, we need to define those variables. Okay, so then we'll write alternative hypothesis. So after that, we write alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis. So in null hypothesis, I used two symbol. This was H not A, and this was H not B. Similarly, in alternative hypothesis, I'll write H1A. What is H1A? H1A means that, that at least at least two of mu1A or mu2A or mu3A or mu4A are not equal. Are, are not equal. Not equal. Or what do you mean by or you can write in bracket there is a significant difference. There is a significant difference. There is a significant difference in the average sales. There is a significant difference in the average sales in lakh made by different salesmen. Made by different salesmen. Made by different salesmen in all three seasons. All three seasons. Simple English you have to write. Okay. And then similarly I can write mu1b means we can write at least two of the mu1a mu1b, right? Yeah, at least two of the mu1b or mu2b or mu3b are not equal. Are not equal. Okay, are not equal. What this mean? This means there is a significant difference. There is a significant difference. Okay, there is a significant difference in the average sales. Uh, made by summer, winter, and monsoon season by different salesmen. By different, some English you can write this, different salesmen. So there's a significant difference made in different. There's a significant difference in average sales made by not because seasons are not living. They are made in summer, winter, and monsoon seasons by different sales. That is mu one. So alternative hypothesis. All these notes and all, everything will be given to you at the end of the class. So don't worry if you're not able to write also, not a problem. That you just understand. Anyone, any confusion, any doubt? Okay, clear, no? So we can go ahead. I hope everyone is understanding. So we defined what is null hypothesis, defined what is alternative hypothesis. We defined both of them. Okay, so now here what now let define few more variable. Like here, what is k? You remember degree of freedom of numerator? We use a formula called k minus one. Degree of freedom of denominator, we use a formula called n minus k. Because here we are using a two-way ANOVA, so we need two classes. So here, let define few more variables. Like let define a variable called k. What is k? K is suppose the number of classes. K is suppose number of classes represented. K is suppose number of classes represented along represent along the column. So let k is the number of classes represented along the column. So here your k is equal to how much? Your k is 4 because 4 salesmen are there. So your k is equal to 4. So k is suppose number of classes represented along the column. So your k is 4. And what is h? H basically means the number of classes, represented along the row, represented along represented along the row. So here your H is equal to 3. Why 3? Because you have 3 seasons, no? You have summer. I hope you're understanding. 3 seasons. You have summer, you have winter, and you have monsoon. 3 season. You have 3 seasons. So here basically H talks about that the classes which is there along the row wise, and your K is 4. Why K is 4? Because you have 4 salesmen. You have salesmen A, B, C, and D. Anyone, any doubt? Any doubt, anyone? Okay. So I hope you understood this. Going further, what we can do. So let Ri let Ri is the total. Let Ri is the total sum of observation. Ri is the total sum of observation. Let Ri is the total sum of observation. Let Ri is the total sum of observation in ith row. Means how many rows you have? 3 rows, no? So your I is equal to 1, 2. So row wise I'm talking about. So first row, so R1, second row R2, third row R3. We have 3 rows, no? Say season 1, season 2, season 3. And when I talk about, so R basically represent the data row wise. So like that I can talk about column. I can talk about column. So in column I can write let Cj, let Cj represent the total sum of observation. Let Cj represent the total sum of observation column wise in jth column. Okay, where j is equal to 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4 columns. Anyone, any doubt? So now what I'll do, I'll talk about my data. So for that, let me open that. One minute. Yeah. So here we'll discuss this question paper, which came for 15 marks in the year 2016. Year 2016. So here I have 4 salesmen. Here I have 4 salesmen, and I have 3 seasons: summer, then I have winter, and then I have monsoon. Data is given, so I'm simply writing the data. So this is okay. So I have A, B, C, D. I have salesman. The data is 36. All figures are in lakh. 36, 36, 21, 35. Then I have 28, 29, 31, 32. then 26, 28, then 29, then 26, 28, 29, 29. So this is do the sum. Simply do the sum. So this data is given to us. The salesman figure in lakhs. Fine, everyone. This data is given to us. So this data is given to us. So I hope you understand column wise. So this is basically your total. This is basically your total. And this is your row wise. This is your total column wise. Clear? Anyone have any doubt? What I can do? I can do the square of that. I can do the square of this value. I can do the square of this value. So square of this value I can do. I can do the square of this value. So square of the value, I can write the square. So what is the square? Row wise, what is the square? 128 square. Simply I can write the square. Similarly, I can write the square. Anyone, any doubt? So I hope you are understanding. What is n here? What is n? N. What is the total number of data? So we have 12 data. N is 12. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Your n is 12. Okay. And then what is the grand total? What is G grand total? Total sum. That is 360. I think nobody have any doubt. Okay, everyone. Are you understanding now? This part everyone is understanding, right? So I can find the correction factor. I can find the correction factor. I can find the correction factor. So correction factor, you know, right? Correction factor. So you know how to find correction factor. Correction factor. Correction factor. What is correction factor? Correction factor formula is what? G square by n. You know correction factor, right? Correction factor formula is G square by n. What is G? G is 360. 360 whole square by 12. So 360 whole square is 129600 divided by 12. How much you will get correction factor? Correction factor is how much? That is 10800. So your correction factor is 10800. So you'll get as a correction factor 10800. Anyone, any doubt? So I'll get the correction factor 10800. Your n was 12. Total 12 data is there, and total sum of the data was 316. So I'll find the correction factor. From this data, I'll find the correction factor. I hope everyone understood this much. Then what I can do after I find the correction factor, I know R1 square, rho 1 square, R1 square is 16384, R2 square is 14,400, R3 square is 12544. So what I can do, I can do the sum of R square. So if I do the sum of this, I'll get 43,328. Similarly, I can find the C1 square, column 1 square, that is 8100. Then C2 square is 8649. Then C3 square is 6561. Then C4 square, that is 9216. Do the sum of this. You will get is 32,526. Do the sum of this. You do this. See the sum. What is sum of this? Do the sum of this. So this. Do the sum of this. Do the sum of this. 32,524. Where is comma? This is the sum of all. This is the sum of Cj square sum. And if you want Ri square sum, you can do that. This is the sum of, this is basically sum of Ri square. Clear everyone? Anyone any doubt? This already I did. Anyone any doubt? Okay, so I got all this number. So I got all this number. So this data was given to me. This data was given to me. So whenever I have to solve the problem on ANOVA, whenever I have to solve the problem on ANOVA, so the first thing what I'll do, if I have to do ANOVA row wise or column wise, I'll do the sum of that row or column, and then I'll do the square of them, and then I'll do the sum of both the individual numbers and the square numbers. What I get, I'll do the sum of that. Okay, so once I get the grand total, I'll find the correction factor, and then what I can do, I can find this the sum of square of individual some value what I got. I'll do the square of that, and I'll do the sum of it and keep it separate. Okay, so once I get this, now what I'll do, I'll talk about calculation of a raw sum of square. Now I need to talk about calculation of raw sum of square. Now I need to talk about calculation of raw sum of square. Now I need to talk about calculation of raw sum of square. So now I'll do the calculation of raw sum of square. Fine. So what we basically do in raw sum of square, whatever the number was given to us, whatever the number is given to us, 36, 36, 21, 35, 28, 29, 31, 32, 26, 28, 29, 29. We'll do the square of this number. Whatever the number is given to us, we'll do the square of this number. 36 square is 1296. 36 square is 1296. 21 square is 441. 35 square is 1225. 28 square is 144. 29 square is 1521. 31 square is 31 square is 961. 32 square is 1024. 26 square is 676. 28 square is 784. 29 square is 841. 29 square is 841. So we'll do the square of each number and we'll do the sum of that. So that is what raw sum of square is all about. I hope you're understanding. So raw sum of square basically means 36 square plus 36 square plus 21 square plus 35 square plus 28 square plus 29 square, 28 square plus 29 square plus 31 square plus 32 square plus then 26 square plus 28 square plus 29 square plus 29 square. So this all we do in calculation of raw sum of square. 1296 plus 1296 plus 441 plus 1225 plus 28 square 784 plus 29 square is 841 plus 961 plus 1024 plus 676 plus 784 plus 841 plus 841. We'll do the square of this and we'll get the value 11,010. This is your raw sum of square. Very good, Bhumika. That is raw sum square, Bhumika, not total sum of square. This is your raw sum of square. From this, we'll find total sum square when we subtract the correction factor from. So this is your raw sum of square. 29 square is 841. 29 square is 841. 28 square is 784. Clear, everyone? So all these figures are in lakh. So whatever calculation we are doing calculation in the term of lakh. So your raw sum of square is 11,010. Anyone, any doubt? Okay. So once we're done with raw sum of square, we'll do total sum of square. Once we're done with raw sum of square, we'll do total sum of square. We'll do calculation of total sum of square. So this is what we'll do. So this is what we do. Raw sum of square minus correction factor. Raw sum of square minus correction factor. Okay, so your raw sum of square is 11,010 minus your correction factor is 10,800. 10,800. If you'll do, you'll get total sum of square as 210. Hmm. Very good, Sonika. So total sum of square is raw sum of square minus correction factor. So you got raw sum of square, you subtract correction factor from it, you will get the total sum of square. Now after this, we'll talk about, so after this we'll talk about calculation of between sample sum of square. This is treatment, and this treatment what we are talking about, this treatment we need to discuss in two parameter. One parameter is due to salesman, because we are considering two columns here. So we need to consider both all the columns due to salesman. So due to salesman, so when I talk about salesman data is in column wise. So due to salesman, I have four salesmen. So the formula for that is C1 is by N1 plus C2 square by N2 plus C3 by N3 plus C4 square by N4 minus correction factor. So I have four columns, and if you notice your N1, N2, N3, N4 column wise, what is your N1, N2, N3, N4 column wise? Three elements are there, no, column wise. Here I hope you're understanding. Here your N1, N2, N3, N4 all are equal to 3. Column wise, how many data is there? 3 data. Row wise, how many data are there? 4 data. So so here you can write this. So, so you can write this as C1 square plus C2 square plus C3 square plus C4 square by 3 minus correction factor. How much is your correction factor? Correction factor is 10,800. That is 10,800. So what is C1 square plus C2 square plus C3 square plus C4 square? 32,526. So 32,526 divided by 3 minus 10,800. So between sample sum of square due to salesman is how much? So 32,526 divided by 3, okay, minus 10,800. So you'll get 10,842 minus 10,800. So you get the value. All these figures are in lakh. All these figures are in lakh. If I'm writing 42, it doesn't mean 42. It is 42 lakh. Clear, everyone? Similarly, I'll do Similarly, I'll do season wise. Similarly, I'll do the same thing between sample sum of square season wise. So season wise, when I'm talking of season, you have three season, right? So you have three season, and so what is the formula you'll follow? R1 square by N1 plus R2 square by N2 plus R3 square by N3 minus correction factor. Here, if you understand N1, N2, N3, row wise, you have four data is there. If you understand row wise, you have four data. Row wise, you have four data. Column wise, you have three data. So, so here, if you understand, so row wise, what is the sum? Sum, if you see row wise, the sum is 43,328. So row wise, the sum is 43,328. So here you understand 43,328 divide by 4 minus correction factor. So correction factor is 10,800. So 43,328 divided by 4 is 10,832 minus 10,800. So this is equal to 32. So there's actually no 32 lakh. So calculation of between sample sum of square due to season, that is 32 lakh. Calculation of between sample sum of square due to salesman is actually 42 lakh. Due to season, it is 32 lakh. Clear, everyone? So I found the calculation of between sample sum of square due to salesman due to season. Due to salesman, it was 42 lakh. Due to season, it is 32 lakh. Now I can find the error within sample sum of square. Now I can find within sample sum of square calculation of within sample sum of square. Now I can find calculation of within sample sum of square. Now I can find within sample sum of square, calculation of within sample sum of square due to error. So the formula for this is total. You know the formula, total sum of square is equal to between sample sum of square plus within sample sum of square. No, you know the formula, but here you have two between sample sum of square. So here what I'll write total sum of square is between sample sum of square between sample sum of square between sample sum of square due to salesman plus between sample between sample between sample sum of square sum of square due to salesman due to uh, season. Okay, so here we have two between sample sum of square plus sum of square plus sum of square due to error or within sample sum of square plus within sample sum of square. So total sum of square, sum of square, total sum of square is 210. Between sample sum of square to salesman is 42. Between sample sum of square due to season is 32 plus within sample sum of square plus within sample sum of square within sample sum of square. This is 210 is equal to 74 plus within sample sum of square. This is equal to, so within sample sum of square, that is equal to, so within sample sum of square is equal to 210 minus 74 is equal to 136. So in here you have two between sample sum of square. One is due to salesman, another one is due to season. Clear everyone? Anyone any doubt? See, this is the formula we are using. Total sum of square is between sample sum of square due to salesman plus between sample sum of square due to season plus within sample sum of square. Total sample sum of square already you got 210 and between sample sum of square due to salesman you got 42 and between sample sum of square due to season you got 32. So with that you can find within sample sum of square. Earlier when we were using one way ANOVA, then we had one variable with respect to between sample sum of square and we had one variable respect to within sample sum of square. Because here I'm using two-way ANOVA, so I have two set of data which is between sample sum of square. One is row wise, another one is column wise. Clear everyone? Can I go further? Once we get this data, now we'll do the calculation of degree of freedom. 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 So calculation of degree of freedom. Now we'll talk about calculation of degree of freedom. So when we talk about degree of freedom, so what always remember what is total degree of freedom. Always remember total degree of freedom. That will be equal to n minus 1. That will be equal to n minus 1. So n is how much? N is 12. The total degree of freedom will be 12 minus 1 equal to 11. Now I'll find the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom due to salesman. To salesman for numerator. For numerator. For numerator. For numerator, that is k minus 1, and your k is 4, that is equal to 3. And then degree of freedom due to season for numerator, due to season, for numerator, that will be equal to h minus 1, that is equal to 3 minus 1 equal to 2. And then degree of freedom, remember that, of denominator. For that we'll use the formula, that is h minus 1 into k minus 1, that is 4 minus 1 into 3 minus 1, that is 3 into 2 means 6. Now if you count this total degree of freedom, so if you so the total degree of freedom, if you count, is actually 3 plus 2 plus 6, and is actually equal to 1. I told you it should be equal to 1. Sorry, that should be equal to 11, not 1. Again 1 and 1. Total degree of freedom should be equal to 11. That should be n minus 1. I hope you people understood this. So now what I can do, I can create an ANOVA table. I can create an ANOVA table. I can create an ANOVA table. Source of variation. This is between sample sum of square. Copy that. Control page up, page down. Degree of freedom of between degree of freedom here will be between sample sum of square. Then it is like due to salesman. Due to salesman. Then due to season. Source of variation. Degree of freedom due to salesman is how much? That is 3. Degree of freedom due to season is 2. And within sample sum of square, degree of freedom is 6. And the total will be 11. If you do the sum of this, you will get as 11. Then sum of square due to salesman, that is 42. Due to season, that is 32. And within sample sum square, that is 136. And if you do the sum of this, you'll get the total sum square as 200. You can cross verify. That is within sample sum square is 136. Between sample sum square due to salesman is 42. Between sample sum square due to season is 32. And total sum square is 210. Then mean sum of square is nothing but sum of square divided by the degree of freedom. To do this, you'll get the same answer. So means sum of square is nothing but that is sum of square divided by degree of freedom. Anyone, any doubt? What would be your variance ratio? So your variance ratio, what would be your variance ratio? So you will get two variance ratio. One is variance ratio where you compare salesman with error. Okay, so one will be 40. One variance ratio. Get two variance ratio. One will be 14 divided by 22.6667. 14 divided by 22.67. How much you get? This is 0.62. And this is because this is due, due to salesman. Okay, due to salesman. Here I'll compare the data of null hypothesis of salesman, and you'll get another variance ratio that is 16 divided by 22.667. Then that is equal to 0.71. And this is what? This is due to season. So here you get two variance ratio because we are doing two-way ANOVA. And because we are doing two-way ANOVA, so we'll get two variance ratio. This I can write as this is mean sum of square due to salesman, MSSA. That this I can write as this is MSSB, and this I can write as MSSE. Mean sum of square A salesman, mean sum of square B is season, and mean sum of square E means error. So the formula for this is this is variance ratio 1 to salesman, that is MSSA by MSSE, that is variance ratio 1. and your variance ratio 2 is MSSB divided by MSSE, mean sum square due to season divided by mean sum square due to error. And this salesman will check at what degree of freedom for salesman, for salesman, for salesman, for salesman. Your degree of freedom of numerator is how much? Your degree of freedom for salesman. Your degree of freedom of numerator. Numerator is how much? Degree of freedom of numerator for salesman is 3. Okay, and denominator is how much is the denominator? Denominator is n minus k, or denominator is 6. Okay, for salesman. Okay, and for season, your degree of freedom, your degree of freedom of numerator, your numerator is how much? Numerator is 2, I guess. Numerator is 2 and denominator is how much? Denominator is 6. And your denominator is 6. So you get for salesman, what is your degree of freedom of numerator and what is your degree of freedom of denominator. For season, what is your degree of freedom of numerator, what is your degree of freedom of denominator, you know that. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll open the F distribution table and we'll see at 5% level of significance the values, because here the level of significance is not given. Whenever in the problem level of significance is not given, we'll take that as a 5%. So I'll open 5% F distribution table. F distribution table. In exam, you'll get the table, F distribution table. I'll see for the degree of freedom at level of significance of 5%. So you can see this alpha is 0.1, means 10%. This table is of 10%. You can see this is of 5%. Okay, be careful. So this table is of 5%, and what I want here, I want for salesman 3, numerator, denominator 6. Numerator 3. Numerator means the value which is horizontal. Denominator means the value which is vertical. So 3 for 6. 3 for 6 is 4.7571. 4.7571. 4 point threshold value. What is your threshold value? What is your threshold value? Threshold value is 346. 346. 4.757. 4.757. Okay. And what is your threshold value for? What is your threshold value for? What is your threshold value for season 2 and 6? 2 and 6. That is 5.5, 5.1433. 5.1433. You can see this. So you get the threshold value. Okay. While your calculated value is how much? How much is your calculated value? What is your calculated F value? So your calculated F value is how much? Salesman, how much you got? 0.62, no? This is your calculated F value. That is 0.62, 0.62, 0.71. This is 0.62. And here your calculated F value, is how much? 0.7. So you can see that your calculated F value is less than the threshold value. So it means that you do not get any substantial evidence to reject the null hypothesis. It means the average sales made by different salesmen in different seasons are same. Similarly, the average sales made by summer, winter, and monsoon season by different salesmen, I say. So we'll accept the null hypothesis. Because when you accept the null hypothesis, whenever your calculated value is less than your threshold value. Understand this. So whenever your calculated value is less than your threshold value, here the calculated value what you get, because your calculated value is less than your threshold value, so you are not going to reject the null hypothesis. Not rejecting the null hypothesis means you are accepting the null hypothesis. It means what? It means what? It means that the average value whatever you got all are equal. Clear everyone? So since the calculated f value due to salesman and season due to salesman and season are less than are less than are less than their respective threshold values are less than their respective threshold values. So we do not we do not we do not reject the null hypothesis. We do not reject the null hypothesis. This mean this mean what? This mean that there is no substantial difference, or there's no significant difference. There's no significant difference among the there's no significant difference among the average sales in lakh made by different salesmen made by different salesmen in different seasons. Similarly, similarly, the average sales made during similarly there is no significant difference made during different seasons by different salesmen. Means H1, it means mu1 A is equal to mu2 A is equal to mu3 A equal to mu4 A, and mu1 B is equal to mu2 B is equal to mu. That's it. Anyone, any doubt? So that's this much for the today class. So happy Ugadi, everyone. Bhumika, Chandana, Deepak, Chirag, Karthik, everyone. Happy Ugadi to all of you. Mahindra, Mohan Raj, Naren, Naveen, Pavitra, Pooja Shri, everyone. Happy Ugadi. Rajendra, Tejeshwar, everyone. Be safe with your family. Happy Ugadi to everyone. So So I'll wind up the class, guys. So if anyone have any doubt, then it's time to wind up the class and you can go and have lunch so that you prepared for the next class. So thank you everyone. So can I wind up the class then? Already I've taken the attendance. Okay everyone, take care. Take bye.